evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 69th production of the Pleasant Lake Lions Club Minstrel Show. So glad you showed up. It would have been sort of dumb doing it here all alone. Got a fun show for you tonight, and that's what you are supposed to do. You're supposed to have fun with us. And also, if you know some of the words to the song, go ahead and sing it, because we're going to need all the help we can get. We really can. No. Yeah. He knows us. He's been to our other shows. Tonight, we're doing it on railroads. Now, railroads are pretty important up here in Northeast Indiana. Thing about trains we're going to talk about a little later on in the show. Yeah, Pleasant Lake's going to be quite a hub for the railroad. Now, also, we have Steubenville. Any of you know about Steubenville? Now, Steubenville is where the Wabash Railroad and the New York Central would cross. And at the time, it used to be quite a busy little burg. In fact, a friend of mine, quite a bit older than me, he said when he was a kid, his folks used to run the drugstore in Ashley, and he said if they wanted to have a fun day, they would hop on the depot hack at Ashley and go out to Steubenville because they had a movie theater and they had a ice cream parlor. So quite a bit of history in this whole area, and it just is something else too. There was a little bit of a tiff that happened because Steubenville and Angola were fighting to be the county seat. Guess who won? Now, tonight we got something special for you. We are taking a Pleasant Lake Lions Club limited train ride. Have you all got your tickets? Huh? Have you all got your tickets? Yeah. All aboard.
Gonna take a sentimental journey. Gonna set my heart at ease. Gonna take a sentimental journey to renew old memories. Got my bag, I got my reservation. Spend each time I could afford. Like a child in wild anticipation, long to hear that all aboard. 7, that's the time we leave at 7. I'll be waking up at heaven, counting every mile of railroad track that takes me back. Never thought my heart could be so yearning. Why did I decide to roam? Gonna take a sentimental journey home. 7, that's the time we leave at 7. I'll be waking up at heaven, counting every mile of railroad track that takes me back. Never thought my heart could be so yearning. Why did I decide to roam? Gonna take a sentimental journey home. Sentimental journey home.
Thank you. Now is the joke portion, so these are funny. So these two drunks are walking down the railroad track. They come to a pretty steep grade, and they're walking. One drunk says, "Man, I never saw this many steps on a stairway before." The other drunk says, "Well, that isn't so bad, except the handrails are so low."
So you've heard me say before that we have a lot more fun putting the show on than you do watching it. That's actually not true. It takes a lot of effort to make this show work, and we have a couple of people behind the scenes I want to recognize tonight. You don't know it, but we actually have teleprompters up here. Tell us what to say and what to do. And the person in charge of that is the absolutely most competent, really. I don't even know these words. Mike Davis, everyone. But the person that really, really keeps us in line is Kathy on the piano. Kathy has been doing this for a long time now, and I love Kathy. She's like the sister I never wanted. My one goal every show is to get Kathy to swear. And remember that hell, damn, and ass are in the Bible, so those are okay. Even those she will not use. Mike will. Kathy said, I'm not even sure I would know where to start to swear. And I said, well, keep working with us, you'll know.
Little Johnny is in math class, and the teacher asks him, if you have $1 and you ask your dad for $1.50, how much money would you have? Johnny answers, $1. Teacher asks him again, if you have $1 and you ask your dad for $1.50, how much would you have? Johnny says, $1. Teacher says, you don't know your math very well. Says, I know that, but you don't know my dad very well.
I'm getting stage fright. Anyways, Kelly Lynch decided that he had to have a couple guys to work on the railroad, so he brought them into his office to do an interview. And he said, I'm going to ask you guys a question. I want you to tell me your honest answer. He looked at the first guy. He said, what do you think the fastest thing on this earth is? He said, well, I would say that's a thought, because he said, thoughts just come into your mind like that. He said, that's good. He said, to the second guy, he said, what do you think? He said, well, he said, I'd say that's a blink of an eye, because you blink your eye 1,000 times a day and you just don't think about it. So I'd say blink of the eye is the fastest thing on earth. He said, what about you, to the third guy? And the third guy said, well, when I was a little kid, I grew up on the farm, and I'd go back to the back porch to turn on the light to the barn. As soon as I hit that switch, boom, there was light. The whole barnyard was lit up. So I'd say that light is the fastest thing on earth. Fourth guy walked up. He said, well, I'll tell you right now, fastest thing on earth is diarrhea. He said, diarrhea, how do you get that? Well, he said, I was laying in bed the other night. He said, my stomach started to rumble. Before I could think, blink, or turn on the lights, I crapped my pants.
Pardon me, Lord, is that the Chattanooga choo-choo? Track 29, but you can give me a shine. I can afford to board the Chattanooga choo-choo. I've got my fare and just a trifle to spare. You leave the Pennsylvania station about 3:45. Read a magazine and then you're in Baltimore. Dinner in the diner, nothing could be finer than to have your ham and eggs in Carolina. When you hear the whistle blowing into the bar, then you know that Tennessee is not very far. Shovel all the coal in, gotta keep it rolling. Woo woo Chattanooga, there you are.
Hey everybody. We don't know what to do here. Oh yeah.
There's gonna be a certain party at the station, satin and lace, I used to call Funny Face. She's gonna cry until I tell her that I'll never roam. So Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home? So Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home?
Hey, everybody. I actually don't have a ukulele group, even though that's what the paper said. Who knows, maybe after this I will. This is actually a song that I wrote, and I had Tom working on it with me. So he asked if we could do it for this, and I said, why not? It had nothing to do with trains, except for there was a line about a bus, so I changed it to a train. Why not? I'll make it fit. Westbound on a train out of town on graduation day, the day she ran away. 18 and she was finally free to make her big escape from all the plans they made. She always did her best to make them proud. The future she craved was more than they would allow. She's sowing her wild oats. She's sowing her wild oats. All their plans had gone up in smoke. She's sowing her wild oats. Was a boy that she had given her heart, but he was holding her back, trying to keep her on track. She always knew his heart was in the right place, but she still had to see how it felt to be free. She was hoping someday he would see she needed more than childhood fantasies. She's sowing her wild oats. She's sowing her wild oats. All her plans had gone up in smoke. She's sowing her wild oats. Her future happiness was at stake. The choices had to be hers to make, to take a chance and make her own mistakes, so she could find who she was meant to be. She's sowing her wild oats. She's sowing her wild oats. All their plans had gone up in smoke. She's sowing her wild oats. Thank you. I'll be back later.
Mr. Josh Ayers, everybody.
You can see the railroad theme, and I'm somewhat of a railroad expert because I've driven across the tracks for most of my life now. And it's interesting, the history of the railroads. There were hundreds of different railroads that over time kind of merged and became one. So we have in our local area the Chesapeake Southern, merged together to become the CSX, the Chesapeake Southern Express. And the Norfolk and the Southern became the NS. The Burlington Northern merged with the Santa Fe to become the BNSF. Canadian National becomes a CN, so you can see it's kind of like the alphabet threw up all over the railroad. But I believe in what's going to happen for our community with the railroad. I believe so much, I want to start our own railroad. I want to call it the Way, because I believe there is a way that we can have the railroad. I think it's going to be big enough. We probably will need to merge, probably with the Norfolk. When anyone refers to the railroad in Pleasant Lake, don't get ahead of me. When anyone refers to the railroad in Pleasant Lake, I want them to say Norfolk and Way.
Mike gets pulled over for speeding. As the policeman approaches the car, Mike asks to get out of the car. Policeman says, "Why were you speeding?" Mike says, "See that woman in the passenger seat? That's my wife. That woman in the back, that's my mother-in-law. And she's been living with us for 3 months. And they got into a fight and insist on going home. So I was trying to get there as quick as possible before they make up and she comes back home with us." The police says, "Get back in the car and I'll give you a police escort with lights and sirens and get you there as quick as possible."
So Dave Harpum and his wife Julie decided she wanted to go shopping. Well, she'd shopped every place there was in Steuben County, so they decided to jump on the train and go to Chicago. Went to this big, huge mall in Chicago, and they were shopping for several hours, and pretty soon Julie looked around and she couldn't find Dave. Well, she thought he's somewhere nearby. A couple hours went by and still no Dave. She thought, what is going on? So she got her phone out. She figures, well, I'll call him. So she called Dave, and Dave answered the phone. She said, "Where are you at, Dave?" He said, "Do you remember several years ago when we went on a trip over here and you took me into this real fancy jewelry store and there was this 42-carat diamond ring that you were looking at?" And she got all excited. She said, "I sure do." He said, "I'm in the bar right next to that."
So apparently Ed looked up jokes under Wikipedia, wrote them all down. By the way, Kevin, you can't tell that joke.
I did.
That was better than the one he wanted to do.
A little aside here, the Pleasant Lions Club has been doing shows like this since 1930. They stopped them for a while, and in 1980, 3 guys, Floyd Dietz, Abe Thalls, and Ron Parker got together. We've got to do these again. And we've done them every year for those 44 years since. And for half of that time and more, the guy who's putting them together and doing all the work, and he's been at every one of those 44 shows, is with us tonight. That's Ron Parker. Ron, stand up. Stand up. If you can. All right. So this, out in the Old West, this guy gets a job as a bartender at the local saloon. And it's first night on the job, he's pushing out the whiskey and beer as fast as he can. The place is hopping. This guy comes running in all panic-stricken. "Big Jake is coming, Big Jake is coming, everybody run for your life." People running out the back, running out the front, jumping out the windows, and he's standing there all alone wondering what's going on. So he hears this thump on the sidewalk, boom, boom, boom. And this giant of a man rips open the front door and storms in. Guy's 7 feet tall, weighs 500 pounds. He's got arms like tree trunks. He stomps over to the bar, "Whiskey." Guy gives him a bottle of whiskey, he drinks it down, smashes it on the bar. The bartender says, "You want another one?" He says, "No, I ain't staying. Haven't you heard? Big Jake's coming."
Whistle down the line. I figure that's engine number 49. She's the only one that sounds that way on the Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe. See the old smoke rising round the bend. I reckon that she knows she's gonna meet a friend. Folks around these parts at the time of day on the Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe. Here she comes. traveling for quite a spell, all the way from Philadelphia, on the Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe. Here she comes, woo, and Jim, you better get the rig. Woo, she's got a list of passengers that's pretty big, and they all want to lift to the Browns Hotel. There's lots of them been traveling for quite a spell, all the way from Philadelphia, on the Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe.
Now, I am well into senior citizenhood. I don't like the term elderly. I prefer pre-deceased. Now, on my birthday anymore, we don't sing happy birthday, we sing nearer, my God, to thee. Now, not too long ago, I had to have surgery, and when I was waking up out of the surgery, there was my dear wife, Carolyn, by my side, with my will in one hand and a brochure for a Caribbean cruise in the other. When she saw that I was actually waking up from the anesthesia, she changed out of her black dress and she said, "I can't count on you for anything, can I?" Then she put White's Funeral Home on speed dial and had a hearse follow us home. But I would tell her, you know, you may be making plans, but I ain't dead yet.
1, 2, 3, go. Cover up that hole, I ain't dead yet. Sugar growing dirt in my face. Leave well enough alone. I know you want me home. Don't do something that you might regret. 'Cause I ain't dead yet. When you see me sitting around here with my eyes closed, don't worry, girl, I'm only half asleep. Don't get no bright ideas, I've been going on. I'm just praying to the Lord my soul to keep. Cover up that hole, I ain't dead yet. Just kids for throwing dirt in my face. Leave well enough alone, I know you want me gone. Don't do something that you might regret, 'cause I ain't dead yet. I've seen that Cadillac brochure you're reading. Insurance papers on the countertop, like a bunch of buzzards waiting on a feeding. Just hoping any second that I'll drop. Cover up that hole, I ain't dead yet. Too soon for throwing dirt in my face. Leave well enough alone, I know you want me gone. Don't do something that you might regret, 'cause I ain't dead yet. I've seen the hearse circling past the driveway. Was that the undertaker on the phone? A lot of nerve you got, don't pick it out my pot. There's just one complication, I ain't gone. Cover up that hole, I ain't dead yet. Too soon for throwing dirt in my face. Leave well enough alone, I know you want me gone. Don't do something that you might regret, 'cause I ain't dead yet.
Neil was saying on the intro, he would explain what a Gandy dancer is. The song was called the Gandy Dancer's Ball. In the old days, if you were nimble and quick and could jump around and hop around, you were known as being Gandy. And a Gandy dancer was the guy on the railroad who would jump off the train, turn the switch, and jump back on the moving train. So this is an old song called the Gandy Dancer's Ball. Okay, take it away, Kathy. Oh, they danced on the ceiling, they danced on the wall at the Gandy Dancer's Ball. Hey, swing around, swing around, swing around, Jimmy John, swing around, Jimmy, Jimmy John, swing around, swing around, swing around, Jimmy John, swing the pretty girl around, Jimmy, Jimmy John. The Gandy dancer is a railroad man, his work is never done. Picking a shovel and his willing hands, he makes the railroads run. It's Mackinac, and Toledo Jack, and the boys from Idaho. Frisco Kid, Saginaw Sid, and the good old Cotton Eye Joe. Oh, they danced on the ceiling, they danced on the wall at the Candy Dancers Ball. Hey, swing around, swing around, swing around, Jimmy John, swing around, Jimmy, Jimmy John. Swing around, swing around, swing around, Jimmy John, swing the pretty girl around, Jimmy, Jimmy John. The boys will gather at the great affair, the Candy Dancers Ball. Kissing their ladies with the perfume hair, they're prancing round the hall. They got the biggest band in all the land, and the rhythm rocks the room. And the holler out with the mighty shout when the big bass drum goes boom. Oh, they danced on the ceiling, they danced on the wall at the Candy Dancers Ball. Hey, swing around, swing around, swing around, Jimmy John, swing around, Jimmy, Jimmy John. Swing around, swing around, swing the pretty girl around, swing the pretty girl around, Jimmy, Jimmy John. Well, the railroads bring him to the great affair, the Candy Dancers Ball. Every line's represented there, the big ones and the small. There's the MKT and the old SP, the Lee Valley 2, C&J, Santa Fe, the Southern and the Sioux. Oh, they danced on the ceiling, they danced on the wall at the Candy Dancers Ball. Last time, swing around, swing around, swing around, Jimmy John, swing around, Jimmy, Jimmy John. Swing around, swing the pretty girl around, swing the pretty girl around, Jimmy, Jimmy John. They danced all day, they danced all night, they danced till the broad daylight at the Candy Dancers Ball. Wait there. This is, I'm proud to say, my son Zeke Adamson on tap dance. Do you want to say anything about this song, Elton?
Nope.
Okay. I do. This is our gospel medley. You might say our penance for some of our humor.
He knows about penance.
And your penance for listening to it. This is an old gospel song called Life is Like a Mountain Railway. 1, 2, 3. Life is like a mountain railway with an engineer that's brave. You must make the run successful from the cradle to the grave. Watch the curves, the hills, the tunnels, never falter, never fail. Keep your hand upon the throttle and your eye upon the rail. Blessed Savior, thou would guide us till we reach that blissful shore where the angels come and join us in God's praise forevermore. As you roll across the trestle, spanning Jordan's swelling tide, there you'll see the superintendent into which your train will glide. And now, there you'll meet the superintendent, God the Father, Christ the Son. There you're going to have a joyous union, weary pilgrim, welcome home. Blessed Savior, thou would guide us till we reach is fairer than day. And by faith we can see it afar, for the Father waits over the way to prepare us a dwelling place there. Help us out. And in the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. Thank you. Keep singing. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. We shall sing on that beautiful shore the melodious songs of the blessed, and our spirits shall sorrow no more. Not a sign for the blessing of rest. Help us again. And in the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore.
Dave, how's
Yes,
it going?
Ralph. Good.
You know what Godzilla calls the freight train?
What does Godzilla call a freight train?
Choo-choo toys.
Where, oh, where are you tonight? Why don't you leave me here all alone? I've searched the world over and thought I'd found true love. You met another and you were gone.
Hey, Greg, what did one train car say to the other train car?
Well, I don't know. What did they say?
You want to hook up later?
All right.
Luann, how many derailments did we have this year?
Gosh, Neil, I don't know. How many did we have?
I don't know, I lost track.
Hey, Tom, what do you get when you cross a train with a dog?
I don't know, Dave. What do you get when you cross a train with a dog?
A choo-choo wawa.
So, Steve, what do you get when you cross a railroad track with a refrigerator?
Gee, Mayor, I don't know what you get when you cross a railroad track with a refrigerator.
Killed.
Where, oh, where are you tonight? Why did you leave me here all alone? I've searched the world over and thought I found true love. You met another and you were gone.
Walt. Picture in your mind's eye or in your memory Walt being up here with us, with his guitar, probably doing a comedy number with Abe, maybe backing up the gospel quartet, maybe telling a joke. Walt knew a million jokes, none of which we can tell up here. But Walt, with his music and with his life, found interest, he found joy. And when you were with him, you did too. We miss him a lot. And here to do one of Walt's favorite tunes is his grandson, Josh Ayers.
Well, this thing grew since I was up here last. So there wasn't a whole lot of songs that, wasn't a whole lot of music that crossed the generations that we both liked. He liked bluegrass, I liked rock music. But as I got older, I got more into like some of the folk stuff, and then I actually got into bluegrass a little bit. But this is a John Prine song that we did a couple times together, and I always enjoyed playing this with him because I enjoyed his harmonies. And one of my favorite memories, actually the last time I was in this building, I was up here playing with him. And he used to, I always loved, he used to always say when I'd leave, "Glad you got to see me." and I was glad I got to too. I do miss him, but this is for him. When I was a child, my family would travel down to western Kentucky where my parents were born. And there's a backwards old town that's often remembered so many times that my memories are worn. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. Sometimes we travel right down the Green River, the abandoned old prison down by Adrie Hill, where the air smelled like snakes and we'd shoot with our pistols, but empty pop bottles was all that we'd kill. Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. Then the coal company came with the world's largest shovel. They tortured the timber and stripped all the land. Well, they dug for their coal till the land was forsaken, and they wrote it all down as the progress of man. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. When I die, let my ashes float down the Green River. Let my soul roll on up to the Rochester Dam. I'll be halfway to heaven with paradise waiting, just 5 miles away from wherever I am. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. Thank you.
Hello, I am not Johnny Cash. Okay. I hear the train a-comin', it's rolling round the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when, but I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. But that train keeps on rolling down onto San Antone. When I was just a baby, Mama told me, son, always scoot your butt, boy, don't ever play with guns. And I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. When I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and I bet there's rich folks eating in their fancy dining cars, probably drinking coffee and smoking big cigars. Well, I knew I had it coming. I know I can't be free. But those people keep on moving, and that's what tortures me. They freed me from the prison, that railroad train was mine. I bet I'd move it further, a little farther down the line, far from Folsom Prison, that's where I want to stay. And I'd let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away. Hey boys, 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much. That was a pleasant surprise. Let's hope the next one's that lucky. Above the fold is normally Dean Orweiler, who's not with us tonight, but we're going to make up for that by having some special guests throughout the night, including you in just a minute, to make up for not having our normal lead singer, but I'm Tom Adamson. On the drum, we have Ed Simmons. And on the bass guitar and harmonica, we've got Lee Sauer. Down around the corner, half a mile from here, you see the Longshanks running, you watch them disappear without love. Where would you be right now without love? Love. You know I saw Miss Lucy down along the tracks, lost her home and family, she never coming back without love. Where would you be right now? Help us out. Without love. Love. Well, the Illinois Central, yeah, Southern Central Freight, gotta keep on pushing, mama, you know they're running late without love. Where would you be right now, without love? Love. Lee Sauer. Woo! Well, the Illinois Central, the Southern Central Freight, gotta keep on pushing, mama, you know you're running late without love. Where would you be right now, without love? Love. Ooh.
wiser. One, two, three, four. Without love, love, ooh, where would you be now?
Thank you. We're going to bring another Ed to join the group. He's a little typecast, as you'll find out in just a second. But when we get to the part that you all know, we want you to sing with us, and the circle's going to sing with you too. Here you go.
On a warm summer's evening, on a train bound for nowhere, met up with a gambler. We were both too tired to sleep. We took turns of staring at the window at the darkness. The boredom overtook us, and he began to speak. He said, son, I've made a life out of reading people's faces, knowing what the cards were by the way they held their eyes. So if you don't mind me saying, I can see you're out of aces. For a taste of your whiskey, I'll give you some advice. So I handed him my bottle, and he drank down my last swallow. Then he bummed a cigarette and asked me for a light. And the night got deathly quiet, and his face lost all expression. Said, if you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right.
You got to know when to hold 'em,
know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Key change. Now every gambler knows the secret to surviving. Knowing what to throw away, knowing what to keep. 'Cause every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser. The best that you can hope for is to die in your sleep. When he finished speaking, he turned back towards the window, crushed out his cigarette, and faded off to sleep. And somewhere in the darkness, the gambler, he broke even. But in his final words, I found an ace that I could keep. You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting. When the dealing's done, you got to know when to hold 'em. Oh yeah, know when to fold 'em. When to fold 'em. Know when to walk away. Know when to run. You never count. Don't count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting. When the dealing's done, you got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting. When the dealing's done.
Ed! We've been above the fold. Thank you.
So now you know that there's a certain romance to traveling by train, but it's not always the easiest thing to do. In fact, sometimes it's downright impossible. There's a small town in Ohio south of Dayton called Morrow, which is a historic little touristy spot. But getting there by train, not so good. You're on. If you get through this, by the way, tonight, it'll be the first time we've ever done it.
Ready, Tom?
Yep.
Started on a journey about a year ago to a little town called Morrow in the state of Ohio. I've never been much of a traveler and I really didn't know Morrow was the hardest place I'd ever try to go. So I went down to the station for my ticket and applied for tips regarding Morrow, not expecting to be guide. Said I'd like to go to Morrow, and can I go today? The train, I messed it up already. Talk among yourselves, we'll get it right. Said I'd like to go tomorrow, so can I go today? And get tomorrow by tonight, if there is no delay. Said he to me, you can... It's a brutal crowd, folks. No. Said he to me, now let me see if I have heard you right. You'd like to go tomorrow and return tomorrow night. You should have gone tomorrow, yesterday, and back today, for the train that goes tomorrow is a mile upon its way. If you had gone tomorrow, yesterday, now don't you see, you could have gone tomorrow and returned today at 3, for the train today, tomorrow, if the schedule is right, today it goes tomorrow and returns tomorrow night. That's not it, we're not done. Said I, my friend, it seems to me you're talking through your hat. There is a town called Morrow on the line, now tell me that. There is, said he, but take from me a quiet little tip. To go from here tomorrow is a 14-hour trip. The train today, tomorrow, leaves today at 8:35. At 10:30 tomorrow is the time it will arrive. So if from here tomorrow is a 14-hour jump, can you go today, tomorrow, and get back today, you chump? Said I'd like to go tomorrow, so can I go today? And get tomorrow by tonight if there is no delay. Well, well, said he to me, and I've got no more to say. Can't get anywhere tomorrow and get back again today. Said I guess you know it all, but kindly let me say, how can I get tomorrow if I leave this town today? He said, you cannot go tomorrow anymore today, for the train that goes tomorrow is a mile upon its way. I was so disappointed, I was mad enough to swear. The train had gone tomorrow and it left me standing there. The man was right in telling me that I was a howling jay. I cannot go tomorrow, so I guess in town I'll stay. That's it!
Well, you ready to take the second half of your trip today? All aboard!
From the great Atlantic Ocean to the wide Pacific shore, from the queen of flowing mountains to the southern island shore, she's mighty tall and handsome and known quite well by all. She's a regular combination on the Wabash Cannonball. Listen to the jingle, the rumble, and the roar as she glides along the woodlands through the hills and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of the engines, hear the lonesome hobo's call. You're traveling through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball. She came down from Birmingham one cold December day. As she rolled into the station, you could hear all the people say, "There's a girl from Tennessee, she's long and she's tall. She came down from Birmingham on the Wabash Cannonball." Listen to the jingle, the rumble, and the roar as she glides along the woodlands through the hills and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobo's call. You're traveling through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball. Our eastern states are dandies, so the people always say. From New York to St. Louis, and Chicago by the way. From the hills of Minnesota, where the rippling waters fall, no changes can be taken on the Wabash Cannonball. Listen to the jingle, the rumble, and the roar as she glides along the woodlands through the hills and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobo's call. You're traveling through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball.
Keep it up.
Here's to Daddy Claxton, may his name forever stand, and always be remembered on the course of Alabama. His earthly race is over, and the curtains round him fall. We'll carry him home to victory on the Wabash Cannonball. Listen to the jingle, the rumble, and the roar as she glides along the woodlands through the hills and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobo's call. You're traveling through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball. You're traveling through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball.
Ladies and gentlemen, the King.
Here comes Elvis.
Good evening. Well, since my baby left me, I found a new place to dwell. It's down at the end of Lonely Street at Heartbreak Hotel. I've been so lonely, baby. I've been so lonely. I've been so lonely I could die. Although it's always crowded, you still can find some room for broken-hearted lovers to cry with their gloom. I've been so lonely, baby. I've been so lonely. I'll be so lonely I could die. The bellhop's tears keep flowing. The desk clerk's dressed in black. They've been so long on Lonely Street, they never looking back. I'll be so lonely, baby. I'll be so lonely. I'll be so lonely I could die. Now if your baby leaves you, you got a tale to tell. Just take a walk down Lonely Street to Heartbreak Hotel. I'll be so lonely, baby. I'll be so lonely. I'll be so lonely I could die. Oh, it's always crowded. you still can find some room for broken-hearted lovers to cry away their gloom. I'll be so lonely, baby, I'll be so lonely, I'll be so lonely I could die. Tom, I'm going to get you some help.
Yes?
Is Galen Anspaugh in the house? Galen, I need you up here.
The real king, ladies and gentlemen.
My boyhood buddy.
Thank you very much.
Back in 1993, Walt Silberg wanted to get a quartet up for this show. And he got Galen and I and Greg Penrod, and we became a quartet. And that first time we sang together at the show in '93, we did Rocky Top. And then in '94, we added Elvis to the mix and did a little song called Are You Lonesome Tonight? Now, anybody that's come to this show every year since 1994 has seen Are You Lonesome Tonight every 5 years. So this will be the 6th time you'll hear this sang to you. And Galen, I appreciate the fact you've come up here to give a little backup.
I haven't sung for a while, and I'm not sure I remember the words that I have to do.
It's kind of ooh and ah.
Well, I wrote them down on a piece of paper like you always did.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Page 1 and page 2.
Here's your intro.
Are you lonesome tonight? You miss me tonight? Are you sorry we've drifted apart? Does your memory fade to a bright summer's day when I kissed you and called you sweetheart? Do the chairs in your parlor seem empty and bare? Do you gaze at your doorstep and picture me there? Is your heart filled with pain? Shall I come back again? Tell me, dear, are you lonesome tonight? I wonder if you're lonesome tonight. You know, someone said that the world's a stage and each must play a part. Fate had me playing in love with you as my sweetheart. Act 1 was where we met. I loved you at first glance. You read your lines so cleverly and never missed a cue. Then came Act 2. You seemed to change. You acted strange, and why, I've never known. Honey, you lied when you said you loved me, and I had no cause to doubt you. But I'd rather go on hearing your lies than to go on living without you. Now the stage is bare, and I'm standing there with emptiness all around. And if you won't come back to me, then they can bring the curtain down. Are you lonesome tonight? Do you miss me tonight? Are you sorry we've drifted apart? Does your memory stray to a bright summer's day when I kissed you and called you sweetheart? Do the chairs in your parlor seem empty and bare? Do you gaze at your doorstep and picture me there? Is your heart filled with pain? Shall I come back again? Tell me, dear, are you lonesome tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. So these three gentlemen get on the train, and they sit in this compartment, and they're going on a trip to Chicago. And this beautiful young college girl gets on, and she sits right there amongst the three of them, so there's four of them in the compartment. And they get to talking and stuff, and she thinks, well, I'm gonna change the subject a little bit here. And she said, if you guys each give me $1, she said, I'll show you my legs. Boy, they quickly reached in their wallet and grabbed $1 each and gave it to her. They thought that was pretty cool. She said, well, I'll tell you what. She said, if you give me $10 each, I'll show you my thighs. Well, they didn't hesitate. They grabbed a $10 bill, give it to her, and she thought, okay. A few miles down the track, she said, now listen, if you'll give me $100 each, I'll show you where they operated on my appendix. Well, they didn't hesitate. They got in her wallet and fumbled through, and they each give her a $100 bill. Just as they gave her the $100 bill, she leaned across to the window and she pointed, she said, you see that building up there? That's the hospital where I had it done.
Oh, go ahead.
I think I hear a train. Would you guys like to hear a train?
That's it.
So I was pulling into Walmart. It was a warm summer's day, and my dog was lying on the back seat of the car, kind of snoozing along. So I put all the windows down, of course, so we'd have a lot of air, and I walked away, and I thought, well, I don't want the dog jumping out of the car. So I walked back to the car, and I said, no, you stay there. And the blonde in the car next to me said, why don't you just put it in park?
There's this old couple that's been saving money their entire life to go to the Holy Land. Trip of a lifetime. Finally get to go. Sadly, the woman has a heart attack and dies right there on the spot. So they ask, what do we do? So there's a local funeral director that said, well, you can ship her back home for $45,000, or $500 will bury her here. The husband's just distraught. He says, I don't know what to do. Ship her back home. Funeral director says, it's $45,000 to go back home, and everybody would want to be buried here in the Holy Land. Why don't you just do it for $500? He says, it's real simple. Long time ago, there was a man buried here. 3 days later, he rose. I'm not going to take that chance.
The husband comes home from the store, throws his wife on the bed, and pulls the covers over her head. She thinks, he hasn't done this in years. He says, look, my new watch, it glows in the dark.
When we got married back in 1944, a boyfriend who looks just like my gal Sal. And when they're married, they won't need us anymore. They'll board an aeroplane fly from Baltimore. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee, ooh-wee. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee, ooh-wee. When we got married back in 1944, we'd board that silver liner below Baltimore. Went to Virginia on a sunny honeymoon. Nobody cares about the railroads anymore. La 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 la. La 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 la. Don't cry. It did something to you when you hear that all aboard. Nobody cares about the railroads anymore.
Why don't you tell them what it's called there, Ed?
This is a great, this is the California Golden Shore, the Great California Zephyr by Hank Williams Sr.
Here we go.
From the Great Salt Lakes of Utah, California's Golden Shore, Colorado and Nevada, through the desert's burning door. While she circles through the canyon, can't you see that mountain stream? It's the California Zephyr, the Union Pacific Queen.
Go ahead.
See her rockin', see her rollin', as she rambles on her way. She left L.A. this morning, burning up the right-of-way. In the distance, hear her moaning, hear her lonesome whistle scream. It's the California Zephyr, the Union Pacific Queen.
Taking it here, Josh. Here comes that F sharp.
She leaves the city of the angels, headed for old Santa Fe. She's making knots, she's making time, just watch her swing and sway. From way out in the darkness, see that headlight gleam. It's the California Zephyr, the Union Pacific Queen.
Let's take it to the top. Here we go.
From the Great Salt Lakes of Utah to California's Golden Shore, Colorado and Nevada, through the desert's burning door. While she's circling through the canyon, can't you see that mountain stream? It's the California Zephyr, the Union Pacific Queen.
Freight train. Go ahead, Kathy.
freight train going so fast. Freight train going so fast. Please don't tell them what train I'm on, so they won't know where I've gone. Freight train coming around the bend. Freight train going again. One of these days turn the train around and go back to my hometown. One more place I'd like to be. One more place I'd like to see. To watch those old Blue Ridge mountains climb when I ride old number 9. Freight train going so fast. Freight train going so fast. Please don't tell them what train I'm on, so they won't know where I've gone. When I die, please bury me deep down at the end of Bleecker Street, so I can hear old number 9 as she goes rolling by. Freight train going so fast. Freight train going so fast. Please don't tell them what train I'm on, so they won't know where I've gone. Please don't tell them what train I'm on, so they won't know where I've gone.
I got trouble in school today. The teacher had us studying farm animals. She asked Sally, "What do you get from chickens?" And Sally said, "Eggs." She asked Billy, "What do you get from pigs?" And Billy said, "Bacon." She asked me, "What do you get from cows?" I said, "Homework."
So the young gunslinger, he's new at it. He stops in a saloon and there's an old boy sitting there drinking a whiskey, and he said, "Old timer," he said, are you a gunslinger?" He said, "Punk, I've been doing this for about 40 years and I'm still standing." He said, "Wow." He said, "You got any tips for a young fighter like myself?" He said, "Yeah, I do. Stand up." And he stood up. He said, "First thing I want you to do is loosen that belt of yours and let your holster down about 3 inches." So he did. He said, "Try that." Boy, he whipped the gun out and blam, he shot the cufflink right off the piano player. He said, "Wow, that's pretty good." He said, "You got any more advice?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Take your pocket knife out and cut a little slice in your holster there so your gun's a little easier to get a hold of." So he cut it out and drew real quick, and bam, he shot the other cufflink off the piano player. He said, "That's really good." He said, "You got any more tips?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "You see that barrel of axle grease over there?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I want you to take your gun out, take it over there, and put a whole bunch of grease on it." So the young gunslinger, he goes over there and he puts his gun in there and he greases the barrel all down and stuff. He said, "How's that?" He said, "No, put some more on it." He's putting it all over. They said, "Is this going to make me draw faster?" He said, "No." But he said, when Wyatt Earp gets done playing the piano, it's not going to feel very good where he puts it.
When Wyatt, all right. So Mary, the Irish Catholic girl, goes to see the priest. She says, "Oh, Father, there's terrible news, terrible news. My husband Seamus passed away last evening." The priest says, "Oh, Mary, that is terrible news. Tell me, did he have any last requests?" "Last requests? Well, yes, as a matter of fact, Father, he did. His last request was, Mary, put down that gun."
Not bad.
Better than Norfolk and
Barber's cutting his customer's hair, and a young kid walks into the barber shop, and barber says, "Hey, this is the dumbest kid in the world, and I'll prove it to you." Goes over to the kid, and he puts out one hand with 2 quarters in it, puts his other hand out with $1, says, "Choose." Kid takes the 2 quarters, turns to his customer and says, "See, told you, dumbest kid in the world." Later on, kid's coming out of the ice cream shop with an ice cream cone. The barber says, "Hey, you do this all the time. Why do you keep picking the 2 quarters?" Kid says, "As soon as I pick the $1, the game's over."
So this little next train is going to chug you along to the Big Rock Candy Mountain.
Maybe.
Okay, possibly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
Evening as the sun went down and the jungle fire was burning, back came a hobo piping, and he said, "Boys, I'm not turning. I'm headed for a land that's far away, like the crystal mountains. Come with me and we'll go and see our Big Rock Candy Mountains. In the Big Rock Candy Mountains, there's a land that's clear and bright, where the band grow on bushes, and we sleep out every night. The boxcars all are empty, and the sun shines every day, where the birds and the bees and the cigarette trees and the lemonade springs, where the bluebird sings in the Big Rock Candy Mountains. The Big Rock Candy Mountains, all the cops have wooden legs, and the bulldogs all have rubber teeth, and the hens really soft boiled eggs. The farmers' trees are full of fruit, and the barns are full of hay. Oh, I'm bound to go where there ain't no snow, where the rain don't fall, and the wind don't blow, in the Big Rock Candy Mountains. In the Big Rock Candy Mountains, you never change your socks, and the little streams of alcohol come trickling down the rocks. The brakemen have to tip their hats, and the railroad bulls are blind. There's white stew and whiskey too, and the powwow round on a big canoe in the Big Rock Candy Mountains. In the Big Rock Candy Mountains, the jails are made of tin, and you can walk right out again as soon as you are in. There ain't no short-hand shovels, no axes, saws, or picks. I'm going to stay where you sleep all day, where they hung the jerk at the end of the work in the Big Rock Candy Mountains. I'll see you all this coming fall in the Big Rock Candy Mountains.
Come on, you rounders, if you want to hear the story about a great engineer. Casey Jones was the roller's name. On a 6-8-wheeler he rode to fame. Caller called Casey about 4:30. He kissed his wife at the station door. He climbed in the cabin with the orders in his hand. Said, "This is the trip to the promised land." Casey Jones climbing in the cabin. Casey Jones, orders in his hands. Casey Jones, leaning out the window, taking a trip to the promised land.
I know you can be louder.
Through South Memphis, yards on fly. Rain had fallen and the water was high. Everybody knew by the engine's moan that the man at the throttle was Casey Jones.
Well,
Jones said, "Fireman, now don't you fret." Sid Webb said, "Ain't giving up yet." 3 hours late on the southbound mail. Be on time or leave the rails. Casey Jones, fireman in the cabin. Casey Jones, orders in his hands. Casey Jones, leaning out the window, taking a trip to the promised land.
Good job.
Dead on the rail was a passenger train. Blood was boiling in Casey's brain. Casey said, "Hey, look out ahead. Sim Johnson, or we'll all be dead." With a hand on the whistle and a hand on the brake, North Mississippi was wide awake. I see railroad officials said he's a good engineer to delay. Let me hear ya! Casey Jones, climbing in the cabin. Casey Jones, orders in his hands. Casey Jones, leaning out the window, taking a trip to the promised land.
I think you can be louder than them.
Headaches and heartaches and all kinds of pain are all a part of the railroad train. Sweat and toil and the good and grand are part of the life of the railroad.
Go!
Casey Jones, climbing in the cabin. Casey Jones, orders in his hands. Casey Jones, leaning out the window, taking a trip to the promised land. Making a stop in Pleasant Lake.
And since you've all sung so well,
House light.
it's time to stand up and sing some songs that you can find in your programs.
Page 4 of your programs, everybody up. Sing
Some
along.
of you have them written in your head. Page 4, stretch your legs. 1, 2. Down by the station early in the morning, see the little puffer bellies all in a row. See the station master turn the little handle. Puff, puff, toot, toot, off we go. Here we go. Down by the station early in the morning, see the little puffer bellies all in a row. See the station master turn the little handle. Puff, puff, toot, toot, off we go. I took Dramamine earlier, so if you want to sway from side to side, it's not going to affect me. Here we go. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Yee-haw! She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Yes, yes. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be driving 6 white horses when she comes. Yeah! She'll be driving 6 white horses when she comes. She'll be driving 6 white horses. She'll be driving 6 white horses. She'll be driving 6 white horses when she comes. And we'll all go out to meet her when she comes. When she comes. Yes, we'll all go out to meet her when she comes. When she comes. Yes, we'll all go out to meet her. Yes, we'll all go out to meet her. Yes, we'll all go out to meet her when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Yeah. I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day. I've been working on the railroad just to pass the time away. Yeah. Can't you hear the whistle blowing? Rise up so early in the morn. Can't you hear the cows shouting? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? And someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Strumming on the old banjo and singing fee-fi fiddly-I-o, fee-I-fiddly-I-o, fee-fi fiddly-I-o, strumming on the old banjo. Thank you. Here we go.
like fire. This train don't carry no liars. This train don't carry no smokers. 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 This train don't carry no con men. This train don't carry no con men. This train don't carry no con men. No weird dealers here and gone in. This train don't carry no con men. This train don't carry no rustlers. This train don't carry no rustlers. This train don't carry no rustlers. Sidewalk walkers, two big hustlers. This train is bound for glory. This train.
Help us out one last time.
This train is bound for glory. This train.
What?
This train is bound for glory. This train. This train is bound for glory. Don't carry nothing but the righteous and the holy. This train is bound for glory. This train.
There's a long black train coming down the line, feeding off the souls that are lost in crime. Rails of sin, only evil remains. Watch out, brother, for that long black train. Look to the heavens, you can look to the sky. You can find redemption staring back into your eyes. There is protection and there's peace the same. Burn in your ticket for that long black train. 'Cause there's victory in the Lord, I say. Victory in the Lord. Cling to the Father and His holy name, and don't go riding on that long black train. I want to give a shout out to the sound guy, Jace, tonight. He has done a fantastic job. Engineer. I knew I shouldn't have done that. We'll catch up here. Let me ride on that long black train. 'Cause there's victory in the Lord, I say. Victory in the Lord. Cling to the Father and His holy name, and don't go riding on that long black train. I said cling to. Maybe I'm a little early. I did actually practice, but I'm a struggling musician and singer, and whistle from a mile away. It sounds so good, but I must stay away. That train is a beauty, making everybody stare. But its only destination is the middle of nowhere. Don't you know there's victory in the Lord, I say. Victory in the to the Father and His holy name. And don't go riding on that long black train. I said cling to the Father and His holy name. And don't go riding on that long black train. Yeah, watch out, Angola, for that long black train. That devil's a driving that long black. Everybody together. Now, Elton, it's been a couple years since you ran the show, right? And I normally mess with you, right? I always do something I shouldn't do, or yeah. Well, you know what? I'm going to do that for you tonight. These are actually the true songs I was practicing. These aren't train songs, but I would sing them on a train. I woke up this morning, my head felt dense. I splashed it with water, trying to make it make sense. I stumbled to the kitchen, she was standing at the sink. All she had to do was just give me that a wink. Slam bam, I'm feeling alright. Trouble's taking hike in the blink of an eye. Don't need to psychoanalyze or have a stiff drink. All she had to do is just to give me that a wink. Look at that handsome fella. Well, her way of saying she's on my side. An unspoken message that works every time. When my brain starts smoking and I can't even think, all she had to do is just to give me that a wink. Slam bam, I'm feeling alright. Trouble's taking hike in the blink of an eye. Don't need to psychoanalyze or have a stiff drink. All she had to do is just to give me that a wink. Ow! Galen, do you know this song? Well, tough. All you have to do is sing wink. This complicated world, it may sound absurd, but simple little things are the miracle cure. Push it to the limit or standing at the brink. All she's gotta do is just to give me that wink. Slam bam, I'm feeling alright. Trouble's taking hike in the blink of an eye. No need to psychoanalyze or have a stiff drink. All she's gotta do is just to give me that a wink. Slam bam, I'm feeling alright. Trouble's taking hike in the blink of an eye. No need to psychoanalyze or have a stiff drink. All she's gotta do is just to give me that a wink. All she's gotta do is just to give me that a wink. Where's my Indiana girls at? I'm dressed as my favorite singer, Mark Miller. She turned up her nose as she walked by my Cadillac. From the corner of my eye, I saw you and you laughed. You were sitting on the swing on your front porch, painting your nails like you were bored. You yelled she was sure impressed with you. Well, I ain't first class, but I ain't white trash. I'm wild and a little crazy too. Some girls don't like boys like me. Oh, but I know Indiana girls do. She turned up her nose as she walked by my Cadillac. From the corner of my eye, I saw you and you laughed. You was laughing at me, I was doing James Dean. You was the prettiest girl I'd ever seen. Then you rolled your eyes and twirled my pink fur dice. Well, I ain't first class, but I ain't white trash. I'm wild and a little crazy too. Some girls don't like boys like me. Oh, but some girls do. Thank you all for coming out tonight. Without you guys, this would not be possible. Thank you for helping, donating, and all the other good stuff you do for Pleasant Lake. Well, good old boys don't get no breaks, and them rich boys think they got what it takes. But there's someone for each of us, they say. Well, I ain't first class, but I ain't white trash. I'm wild and a little crazy too. Some girls don't like boys like me. Oh, but some girls do. Well, I ain't first class, but I ain't white trash. I'm wild and a little crazy too. Some girls don't like boys like me. Oh, but some girls do. I said some girls do. You know, Pleasant Lake girls do. Like boys like me. Thank you.
My country, land of my birth. This is my country, grandest on earth. I pledge thee my allegiance, America the bold, for this is my country to have and to hold. What difference if I hail from
white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Back home again in Indiana, and it seems that I can see the gleaming candlelight still shining bright.